Thank you, Shreya. Good afternoon, everyone. As it is the tradition to begin every event with a word of prayer, so please join me as I lead you all into asking the blessings of the Lord. Father Lord, thank you for giving us this opportunity to organize this invitation. Lord, we pray that you bless all the dignitaries, faculty members, and students attending this session with health and happiness, Lord. Please bless the participants with confidence so that they can give their best. We give all the network issues and technical glitches into your hands, Lord. Help us in running this program smoothly. In the name of I say this. Amen.
Thank you, Kajal. Now, I would like to invite our college principal, Dr. Mrs. Vinita Prakash, to welcome our esteemed guests for today. Over to you, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, on behalf of Isabella Thoburn College, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. A.P. Srivastav, Director of the Department of Agriculture, Government of Uttar Pradesh, and also our esteemed judges for the event, Mr. A.K. Srivastav, Deputy Director, Department of Agriculture, Government of Uttar Pradesh, and Mr. Fahimuddin Siddiqui, retired professor from the Giri Institute of Development Studies. I also congratulate the Department of Economics for organizing this debate on a very pertinent topic, the Farmers Bill 2020, a step in the right direction. Whenever you have a topic for debate, there is always something to be said for the topic and against the topic. And the Farmers Bill 2020 has been in the news for some time. On the one hand, there are so many myths regarding the bill, and on the other hand, it has caused a lot of trauma to farmers in certain sections of the country. There have been protests and there have been criticism of the bill as well, but there have also been a lot of misconceptions and myths related to the bill. And I'm so happy that young students are involved in these issues which have taken the entire country by storm. And I'm happy to know that 9 teams from different colleges have joined in this platform to debate about this topic. My best wishes to each one of you. May the best team win. And I'm also happy that the Department of Economics keeps abreast where such situations and issues are involved. And I'm sure that our esteemed judges will do justice to whatever is being spoken by the different teams just now. And also, our chief guest will have words of insight and inspiration for all of us. So once again, welcome to Isabella Thoburn College on this platform, and all the very best to each one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon our head of the Department of Economics, Dr. Mrs. Anupama Srivastav, to introduce our chief guest for the day. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shreya. On behalf of the Postgraduate Department of Economics, I would like to give a heartfelt extension of welcome to Dr. A.P. Srivastav. I'll just, because his biodata is very long and it will take a lot of time, so we will send the biodata for you to study. But you can take a lot of motivation from his biodata. He has done his PhD in horticulture. He has held various positions, including academics, research, and later on various government departments. So his combination is a mixed combination of academics, research, and government jobs. So you can learn a lot from his personality. He has been recently given a prestigious post of Director, Agriculture Department, Government of UP, and we would really like to congratulate sir on his big achievement. His specialization areas are so diverse that it ranges from management to agriculture to marketing to organization and so on. Now, without wasting much of the time, I would like to invite our chief guest for today, Dr. A.P. Srivastav, to address our students and the participants and the guests who are here. We want to listen to you, sir, for some time.
थैंक यू ऑल। सबसे पहले तो मैं डॉक्टर विनीता प्रकाश, प्रिंसिपल इसाबिला थर्ड कॉलेज को धन्यवाद देता हूँ, जिन्होंने मुझे इस कार्यक्रम का संचालन का और चीफ गेस्ट के रूप में मुझे इनवाइट किया। डॉक्टर अनुपमा श्रीवास्तव, हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट इकोनॉमिक्स, ने मुझे ये अवसर दिया, और इस कार्यक्रम की जो संयोजिका हैं मिसेस प्रीति शर्मा और उनके साथ जो सैनुद्दीन सिद्दीकी साहब हैं, इन लोगों को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं कि एक ऐसे बर्निंग टॉपिक पर जिसमें काफी किसानों को आशाएं हैं, ये एक गेम चेंजर बिल है जो पूरे फार्मर फैमिलीज को, फार्मर सोसाइटीज को उन्नत करेगा, आगे बढ़ाएगा। ये बिल कई मायनों में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है कि कुछ सैलिएंट फीचर्स मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा। इस बिल से जो न्यूनतम समर्थन मूल्य प्रणाली है, मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस, उस पर कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा और वो एमएसपी जारी रहेगा। ये बिल एपीएमसी अधिनियम, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस मार्केटिंग कमेटी, इसको किसी भी तरीके से प्रभावित नहीं करता है और इसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं होगा। इस बिल के पास होने से किसानों को अपने कृषि उत्पाद बेचने की आजादी मिलेगी। वो कहीं भी राज्य के अंदर या राज्य के बाहर पूरे देश में कहीं भी अपना उपज बेच सकते हैं। कृषि बाजारों के बाहर हो रहे व्यापार को भी इस कानून के तहत कवर किया जा रहा है। किसानों के जो तरीके के टैक्स लगते थे अभी तक, वो टैक्स कम हो जाएंगे, जिससे किसानों को उनकी उपज का बेहतर मूल्य मिल जाएगा। बहुत सारे मामलों में ये देखा गया था कि जो हमारे अड़तिये हैं, जो कमीशन एजेंट हैं, उनका कार्टलाइजेशन हो जाता था, तो जिससे किसानों को मूल्य कम मिलता था, उस पर भी रोक लगेगी। किसानों की पहुंच सीधे उपभोक्ता तक हो जाएगी। किसान अपना उत्पाद मंडी में न बेचकर सीधे उपभोक्ता के पास बेच सकेगा, जिससे बिचौलियों के बीच जो होने वाला कमीशन था, जो एक्स्ट्रा मूल्य देना पड़ता था उपभोक्ताओं को, वो उपभोक्ताओं को भी उसमें लाभ होगा और किसानों को भी लाभ मिलेगा। उपभोक्ता द्वारा भुगतान किए जाने मूल्य में किसानों को हिस्सेदारी उनकी बढ़ जाएगी और उनको ज्यादा मूल्य मिल जाएगा। दूसरा जो बिल हमारा था, फार्मर्स एम्पावरमेंट एंड प्रोटेक्शन एग्रीमेंट ऑफ प्राइसेस एश्योरेंस एंड फार्म सर्विसेज बिल 2020, इसमें जो है एक बात ये आ रही थी निकल करके कि सरकार किसानों को बड़े कारपोरेट सेक्टर के साथ अनुबंध करके कमजोर कर देगी। ऐसा नहीं है। ये है कि कई दशकों से कई राज्यों में अनुबंध की खेती को लागू किया गया है, जैसे पंजाब है और बंगाल है। इनमें पेप्सिको और हरियाणा में एफडीए मिलर जैसी कंपनियां अच्छा काम कर रही हैं और किसानों को अच्छा मूल्य दे रही हैं। इसलिए इस धारणा को छोड़ दिया जाए कि नहीं, बड़े कारपोरेट सेक्टर पर हमारे किसान चले जाएंगे, उनके साथ उनका अनुबंध हो जाएगा तो वो उनका शोषण करेंगे। ऐसी स्थिति बिल्कुल नहीं आने वाली है। ये बिल उनका संरक्षण करता है, किसानों का पूर्णतः संरक्षण करता है। कई राज्यों में अलग अलग अनुबंध के अधिनियम पारित किए गए हैं और उत्तर प्रदेश भी इसमें अग्रणी है। पूर्व की केंद्र सरकारों ने भी अनुबंध की खेती को करने का बढ़ावा दिया था और राज्यों को उसे लागू करने के लिए राजी किया गया। तो ये एक अच्छा बिल है। किसान जो है किसी भी बड़े व्यापारी या जो हमारे फूड प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स हैं, फैक्ट्रीज हैं, कंपनीज हैं, उनसे लिखित करार कर सकता है। अब उसमें गवर्नमेंट की या मंडी अधिनियम की वो शर्तें नहीं रहेंगी जिससे उसका टैक्स बच जाएगा और उसको ज्यादा मूल्य मिल जाएगा। खरीदार जो होगा वो आवश्यक संसाधनों की व्यवस्था करेगा, तकनीकी सलाह देगा और फसल के जोखिम की जिम्मेदारी भी लेगा। अभी तक जो किसान पैदा करता था, अगर ओला, बाढ़, सूखा ऐसी स्थितियों में अगर उसकी फसल नष्ट हो जाती थी तो वो फसल अब बीमित हो जाएगी और उसको बीमा का लाभ मिल जाएगा। तो किसान का जोखिम काफी कवर हो जाएगा। उपज की फार्म गेट से खरीदी की जा सकती है। फार्म गेट आप समझ रहे होंगे, फार्म गेट का मतलब किसान के खेत पर ही, उसके खेत से ही कोई भी व्यापारी जाकर के माल खरीद सकता है और ले जा सकता है। तो किसान का समय बचेगा। जब उसका समय बचेगा तो वो अपना समय अन्न उत्पादन में, अगले जो खेती के अगले कार्य है उसमें लगाएगा। इस बिल में बटाईदारों के हितों का भी संरक्षण हो जाएगा। इसमें ऐसी कोई स्थिति नहीं है कि किसानों को कहीं शोषण होगा या उनके साथ कोई धोखाधड़ी या उनको परेशानी आएगी। ये एक भ्रांति थी। भ्रांति को दूर करने के लिए हमारी राज्य सरकार ने, कृषि विभाग ने बड़े बड़े इसके गोष्ठियां कराई हैं। मंडल स्तर पर, जनपद स्तर पर, ब्लॉक स्तर पर और अब ग्राम पंचायत स्तर पर भी इसकी गोष्ठियों का आयोजन हो रहा है, जिसमें पोस्टर्स और होर्डिंग लगा करके किसानों को बताया जा रहा है और किसान इससे बहुत संतुष्ट है। और आज जो आपने इस कार्यक्रम को रखा है, मैं समझता हूँ ये सबसे ज्यादा अच्छा कार्यक्रम था इस विषय पर आयोजित करने का। और मुझे खुशी ये है कि आपने इसमें बच्चों का, जो शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में जुड़े हुए हमारे बच्चे हैं, विद्यार्थी हैं, उनको इसमें सहभागी बनाया है ताकि ये इस चीज को जान ले कि ये फार्म बिल है क्या और इसके क्या लाभ है। ये आगे आने वाले समय में किसानों के लिए और हमारे समाज के लिए बहुत उपयोगी होगा। मैं यही समझता हूँ कि आज आपने ये कार्यक्रम जो चलाया, मैं इसके लिए कार्यक्रम के आयोजकों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call upon our Assistant Coordinator, Mrs. Preeti Sharma, for the introduction of our esteemed judges for the day. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Shreya. We have in our midst our judges, Mr. Abdesh Kumar Srivastava, who is the Deputy Director, Krishi Bhavan, Lucknow. Sir is looking after agricultural extension services and technology dissemination programs of the state. We welcome you, sir. And we also have Professor Fahimuddin Siddiqui, who's a retired professor from the Giri Institute of Development Studies, Professor of Economics. Presently, he is a professor, guest faculty at the KMC Language University, Lucknow. We extend a warm welcome to our judges. Over to you, Shreya.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, let's begin with the intercollegiate debate competition on the theme Farm Bills 2020, a step in the right direction. I would first like to make all the participants familiar with the general rules of the competition, which are as follows. All the participants are required to keep their mic and cameras off unless asked to switch on. Organizers and the coordinator are nowhere responsible for the network issues of the participants. Any complaints in that matter will not be taken. Participants are required to abide by the rules of the debate. Now the rules of the debate are as follows. The medium of debate is in English or in Hindi. People will have to switch on their mic along with the radio when their chance comes. Each speaker is given a time of 2 + 1 minute only. I repeat, each speaker is given a time of 2 + 1 minutes only. The first bell ring after 2 minutes and the last and the final bell after the completion of the third minute. After each team comprising of 2 speakers are over with their speech, either of the speakers will answer the questions as asked by the judges. A maximum of 2 questions can be asked. Cross-questioning is not allowed. Decisions of the judges will be final and binding upon all the participants. The judging criteria for the given every participant will be given a maximum of 60 points either for or against the motion. Students will be judged on the basis of the content, that is, what all points they have covered, structure, confidence, and interjections. Marks will be given out of 20, 5 marks for content, 5 marks for structure, 5 marks for confidence, and 5 for interjections. Prizes will be given on the following: prize for the best speaker for the motion, prize for the best speaker against the motion, and prize for the best team. Now, let us begin with the debate. So, all the very best to all the participants. I would first like to call upon Team A with Manu Dixit speaking for the motion and Shreya Shukla speaking against the motion.
A very good afternoon to all the esteemed judges and teachers and my fellow mates. I, Manu Dixit, take this opportunity to present my views in favor of the topic Farm Bills 2020, a step in the right direction. India, the land of farmers. About 60% of employment is generated in India by agriculture and allied activities. But this backbone of the economy is entangled in the hands of starvation. The government has thus launched the new farm bills to realize their mission of doubling the farmers' income by 2022. The first bill, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill 2020, aims at the one country, one market motto. It promotes barrier-free interstate and intrastate trade of farmers' produce. The farmers have the freedom of choice based on best prices to sell anywhere at the APMCs or to corporate buyers or to retailers, thus ending the monopolistic authority of the middlemen in the APMC. We can also engage in trade through electronic trading platforms, thus saving on marketing and transportations. Since there is no tax on private players, they will have a fair price to offer to the farmers. This new bill increases competitiveness in the market, ensuring better prices for the yield. The farmers also now have the option of producing different crops and vegetables and fruits according to the demand. Secondly, the Farmers' Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill, which provides a legal framework for farmers to enter into a direct or commercial agreement with the companies, processors, wholesalers, exporters, and big retailers for sale of future farming produce at a pre-agreed price. Thus, even if the price drops, farmers will get money as per rates agreed. Also, provisions of bonus and premiums are there. Contract farming is not new in India. It is already in place in sugarcane and poultry sector. Contract farming in other sectors would benefit
2 minutes over.
farmers, agri-tech startups, agri-warehouses, and organized players in the fruit trade. Investment by the buyers in terms of infrastructure and technology will foster the production of food grains. This will reduce the cost and improve farm income as access to modern technology will be achieved. Modernization of rural areas will also ensue. All this will give access to global markets. Thirdly, the amendment of the Essential Commodities Bill, which will end the government's control on production, storage, movement, and distribution. Removal of cereals, pulses, oilseeds, onions, potatoes from the essential commodities to do away with the position of stock holding limits. It allows the government to take back control if there are extreme situations like extraordinary price rise, war, famine, etc. The bill enables private investment in the agriculture sector. This will help to provide a pool of funds to the farmers. It will encourage private sector investment in cold storage and pave ways for modernizing the supply chain. And all this will eventually help farmers to
Time
reduce
over.
and price stability and will help in tackling the surplus of post-agriculture produce in India. Thank you.
India. India is a democratic country, but was the process of passing the Farms Bill 2020, where neither the farmers and nor the state government had a choice to voice their opinion democratic? Well, good afternoon, respected dignitaries, honorable panel of jury, and my esteemed opponents. The motion before us today is Farms Bill 2020, a step in right direction, and I, Shreya Shukla, firmly oppose the motion. On 20th of September 2020, the Parliament passed a combination of 3 bills under the Farms Bill 2020. These bills created protests in the entire country because they could not reduce the apprehensions of the masses. The first bill, that is Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill 2020, introduces one nation, one market concept to allow the farmers to sell their products anywhere in the entire country. But even earlier, there was not a single law that prevented them from doing so. But the problem was and will remain that the small farmers who own less than 1 hectare of land and constitute about 86% neither can bear the transportation costs nor are tech savvy to produce to sell their products on the online e-commerce platforms. And now, since the bill will even collapse the APMCs, they will not get benefited, and nor even what will happen of the sharecroppers. That is a big question. Coming on to the second bill, which is Farmers Agreement and Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020, which talks about contract farming and contract farming by private entities and FDI, and these big business giants will exploit the farmers by adding on liabilities, and since these farmers are not top negotiators, they are going to become mere slaves in their own patches of lands. This bill will just end the MSP regime, and there is no legal responsibility for procurement of if the farmers don't find open market buyers. Coming on to the third bill, which is the final bill, that is the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020, which has removed the pulses, the onions, the potatoes, and from the list of essential commodities, and removing restrictions on their storage will lead to cheaper imports, which will in turn adversely affect the farmers. And now I would like to conclude by saying that this bill seems to be beautifully sugar-coated, but will prove to be disastrous, and in times to come we can see a complete colonization and corporatization in the hands of big corporates. Hence, it is not a step in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speakers. Now, judges, would you like to ask any questions from Team A?
I think the judges have lost their connection, or
No, I am right here.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I would like to ask from Shreya Shukla. Shreya, how do you say that
yes,
rights of sharecroppers have not been protected? Have you gone through the bill?
Yes, sir, actually I'm not saying that their rights are not protected. I have said that if the APMCs market will collapse, because the system itself will create two markets with different sets of rules.
I am not asking about APMC. I am asking about, do you know what is sharecropper?
Yes, sir, those who don't. Yes, sir, yes, sir. The farmers who don't have their own lands and work on others' lands as sharecroppers. Yes, sir.
They take the land on rent.
Yes, sir.
They have the verbal or written agreement with landowner. They will give them some share to the landowner, and they will cultivate their field. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And there is the provision in the bill that in the price assurance agreement there will be no derogatory provision against the sharecroppers. So rights of the sharecroppers have been protected. How you have well taken, and you have gone through all these provisions. So certainly their consensus was to be made. Certainly it was hurriedly done. So I have your suggestions and your things have been well taken, and we at the government are trying
to get the pulse of the farmer. It's certainly anything in the world is not perfect. So something is being created, and always there are the chances of improvement. So with the help of you people, I am happy to be here. I am happy to be here to listen you people, because you might have studied so many things. You might have thought of so many things, and we will be taking these lapses forward to the government. So amendments, always there are the amendments. We have so many amendments in our constitution, and so many bills are amended time to time. So certainly this is a great opportunity for me also. Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, should
फहीम सर, आप कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे? फहीम सर का कनेक्शन है?
Ma'am, I guess he has left the meeting. Ma'am, he's back.
So let's go to the second team and then.
Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much, speakers. Now, I would like to call upon Team B with Ayushi Bajpai speaking for the motion and Anushka Pandey speaking against the motion.
Respected Chief Guest, Principal Ma'am, esteemed judges, and all my fellow debaters, a very warm welcome to all of you. I, Ayushi Bajpai, take this opportunity to present my views in favor of the motion, Farms Bill 2020. I step in the right direction. The Farms Bill 2020 is a combination of 3 agricultural bills passed by the Indian Parliament in September 2020. The bills were the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill, the Essential Commodities Act Amendment Bill, and the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill. On 27 September 2020, it received approval from the President Ram Nath Kovind and became Act. Prime Minister Narendra Modi referred the bill as a watershed moment in the history of Indian agriculture that will empower millions of farmers. Opposition parties called the bill as corporate friendly and anti-farmer. They all implored the President Ram Nath Kovind to not sign the bill, alleging that they were passed unconstitutionally in complete disregard of parliamentary norms. The bill has faced strong protests from the farmers and opposition parties, alleging that it will hurt the earnings, but the government maintains that they will make it effortless for farmers to sell their products directly to big buyers. It helps protect farmers engaging with agribusiness, their product directly to big buyers. It helps protect farmers engaging with agriculture business firms, processors, wholesalers, exporters, or large retailers for farm services and sale of future farming produce by a mutually agreed lucrative price framework in a fair and transparent manner through a contract. Is this an anti-farmer bill? No, it's not. The farmers are the soul of the nation.
2 minutes over.
Development is the foremost duty to be taken care of by the government. The passing of the bill is a step in the right direction, providing a bigger platform to the farmers to get the desired price, their agriculture product. It will bring revolutionary changes in the lives of the farmer. It will empower the farmers and foster their growth and development in the country, reshaping the Indian economy. All in all, in my opinion, the Farms Bill 2020 is really a step in the right direction. Thank you. Have a joyful day ahead.
Good afternoon.
Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, respected Chief Guest, Principal Ma'am, esteemed judges, and my dear colleagues. Today, I am here to present my views against the motion Farm Bills 2020, a step in right direction. As we all know, under the Farm Bills 2020, 3 bills have been passed. The first one is the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill.
Under this, the provisions have been made to construct an ecosystem where farmers and traders benefit from the freedom to sell and produce outside registered mandis, and it assists barrier-free interstate and intrastate trade of farmers' produce, reducing transportation and marketing costs, and providing facility for e-trading. But we all know the 86% farmers of India own a very small proportion of land which does not yield much produce. So they prefer to sell their produce in nearby markets, even if with the facilities given by them they go for interstate and intrastate selling. The cost of selling still exceeds the cost of produce. Moreover, they will still be selling it to the mandis rather than approaching directly to the consumers. Unfortunately, this bill, instead of helping poor farmers, leads on to benefit only the big farmers and traders who already have enough facilities with themselves. Coming to the second bill is the Farmer Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill, which is supposed to empower and protect the farmers, but in my opinion, it fails to do so. As when a farmer enters into contract farming agreements, they will still be indecisive and will flounder to negotiate what they need. Also, in case a dispute arises among them, the farmers won't be able to file a suit in the court. Moreover, big private companies will be giving their first preference to big farmers and traders rather than the small and marginal ones, and even small and marginal farmers who have very less or sometimes no knowledge of business contracts won't prefer to enter into one with the private firms. The third bill is the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill. Since onions, potatoes, cereals, pulses and oil seeds are removed from the list of essential commodities, it will eventually result in high prices. So it happened in the case of onions and potatoes recently, and the big companies will have the freedom to stock commodities, and it will lead to less price, and less prices will be paid to the cultivators. So I believe Farms Bill 2020 does not serve the purpose of empowering small and marginal farmers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speakers. Now, any questions that the judges would like to ask Team B? So, would you like to ask any questions?
Anushka, here is a.
Yes, sir.
So you are talking of the small farmers, they have very less produce. You might be knowing that Government of India has launched a scheme, FPO, you might be knowing FPO, Farmers Producer Organization. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So certainly in UP, 92% farmers are small and marginal, and in India also 85% are small and marginal farmers. Not only. So Farmers Producer Organization is a platform where they can go for the aggregation of their produce. So and it is coming up in a big way. So the Government of India is ready to have the hand holding of these small farmers, because land is being divided. With the increase in the population, there is a division of land holding, and this land is being divided among the families, father, 4 sons, and thereafter again fragmentation of holding is there. So that's why we are going in UP as well as in India in a big way for the formation of FPOs, Farmers Producer Organization, and this is the platform where farmers can assemble, they can aggregate their produce and go for the big sale. They can have. So Government of India is planning in such a way. Okay, thank you.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, speakers. Now we have Team C with Arsha Tripathi speaking for the motion and Nancy Tripathi speaking against the motion. Excuse me, Harsha. Sorry to disturb. You are not audible.
You're not audible, Arsha. Turn your mic on. Now turn your video. Now
Speak.
start speaking. It's very low.
Can we have her come later on and invite the next team? Till then, she can fix her audio issues. Arsha, is that okay? We can't hear you. Who's your partner, Arsha? Who's the next girl, Shreya?
Ma'am, Nancy. Nancy Tripathi.
Nancy, because we can't, I mean, the two of you will speak together. So can we have you come later?
Yes,
Where's
ma'am.
Nancy? Okay,
Yes,
okay. So, Shreya, can you please invite the other team?
Yes, ma'am. So now we have Team D with Divya Singh speaking for the motion and Shelja Verma speaking against the motion. Judges, please note this is Team D.
Okay.
Mr. Siraj Chaudhary, MD and CEO of NCML has said, I feel that the bills are in the right direction for the progress of farmers and Indian agriculture and food economy. We need private investments in technology and infrastructure upgradation for Indian agriculture to realize its full potential, integrate and compete in global marketplace. A very good afternoon to the respected chief guest, Honorable Principal Ma'am, esteemed judges, dear respected teachers, and all my dear friends. I, Divya Singh, am present here to express my views in support of the topic Farm Bills 2020, a step in right direction. In 1947, after the independence, the farmers were directly selling their produce to the consumers. But due to zamindari system and other conditions, most of the farmers lived in debt, due to which the moneylenders used to buy their produce at a very low price. To solve this problem of farmers' exploitation, the government brings APMC Act. In 1963, when the APMC was formed, then its objective was to protect the farmers from exploitation. But APMC became exploited due to a lots of middlemen and lack of transparency. Farm Bill 2020 is a combination of three bills: farmers, trade and commerce, farmers and small insurance, and transform agriculture and double farm incomes by 2022. The Farm Bill pledges providing farmers will be and providing it will be outside the APMC mandi transaction. Such state
2 minutes over.
Market fees or sales. Even barriers on interstate sales are removed. The APMC will not stop functioning but will now have to compete with these alternative platforms since farmers will have a choice. This competition is expected to build more efficient value chains in agriculture by reducing marketing costs, enabling better price discovery, improving price realization for farmers, and at the same time reducing price paid by consumers. The bill gives the farmer the power to sell directly to the corporate or exporter buying in bulk from the farm gate and can enter into forward contracts too. At last but not least, I would like to say that Farm Bills 2020 is a step in right direction for the progress of the country. Thank you.
If the farmer is rich, then so is the nation. He is a magician who produces money out of mud. Farmers are foundation pillar for the development of a country. But what if the foundation is being shaken by the law of that country? Good afternoon, respected chief guest, respected principal ma'am, jury members, teachers, and my dear colleagues. I, Shalja Verma, is going to speak against the motion Farm Bill, a step in right direction. The bill, which aimed to change the way agriculture produce, is marketed, sold, and stored across the country, were initially issued in form of ordinances in June and passed by voice vote in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha during the delayed monsoon session this year. The bill introduced a Farmer Produce Trade and Commerce Bill and Farmers Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill and the Essential Commodities Bill 2020. And the government hope that it will provide farmers with more choices and surge in private investment in agriculture sector. But is it so? Will it be going to happen, or it is just a utopian concept? The bill says that farmers can sell their produce across the state boundaries, but it is merely a theoretical concept. As according to Agriculture Census 2015-16, 86% of the farmers in the country own less than 5 acres of land, and trading across the state can raise their cost of production with low returns. There is also no mechanism for price fixation between the farmers and the private companies, and higher chances of hoarding and black marketing of essential commodities. Some of the issues raised by farmers are also very genuine. They see it as a larger agenda of corporatization of agriculture. It would be easy for private companies to exploit
2
the
minutes
farmers
over.
with legal clauses. And in case of dispute, why the farmers are not allowed to go to the civil court. Taking example from Bihar, we come to know that cartels outside mandis is established and fees is levied from them as well. No proper fixation and infrastructure is provided to them. The center need to understand that mere liberalization does not lead to private investment. It is intent to strengthen the competition. It should massively fund the expansion of APMC system by removing trade cartels and giving real-time information. Emphasis should be on empowering farmers and addressing their concerns. As without a strong arrangement, laissez-faire policy may harm lack of unorganized small farmers who have been remarkably productive and soared up the economy even during this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, speakers. Now, would the judges like to put up any questions to Team D?
Shalya, I would like to know what are your views about the farmers group which the government plans to formulate?
Sir?
Farmers group.
So what the farmers group?
You are saying that the majority of farmers are small and marginal, more than 80%, 85%. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
they
sir.
will not be able to participate, they will get the benefit from this bill.
So because
In
of
order yes, the government is planning to form the farmers group actually across the country so that they can pool their resources and get the benefit. What do you think about it actually?
So it depends upon the farmers. So cooperation between them as well. So cooperation between them as well is needed. So if they are ready to cooperate, then it's good. But if they are not ready to cooperate with each other, then what it can be done for this purpose.
Okay.
Any other questions, sir? So now we have Team E with Suhasini Ghosh speaking for the motion and Soumya Singh speaking against the motion.
From years, we are studying as students of economics that the farmers of our country are poor. We have a long chapter in an Indian economy that pinpoints the drawbacks of the Indian agricultural marketing, and yet when something has been done to improve our conditions, there is so much of hue and cry. Why? Yes, I, Suhasini Ghosh of Navya Kanya Mahavidyalaya Economics Department, firmly stand for the motion. Farm bills are a step in the right direction, and yes, our Prime Minister has rightly said that this is a watershed movement in the history of Indian agriculture. The farmers will have their say in the price making. The farmers will have their say, they will have the confidence in price making. They will be able to sell their products in whichever state they find profitable. They can sell their products in whichever state they find profitable. They can contact different farmers, different MNCs, so that they can sell their, so that they can make contracts with them. The role of the intermediaries has been minimized. This is a step, this is a key of development, ray of development for our agriculture system and for our Indian economy. Now, we shall understand the three bills. As the Indian Express explains in the words of Sudha Narayanan of IGIDR, we need to simplify the names of these three ordinances passed by the Rajya Sabha. Number one, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Ordinance 2020 as the APMC bypass ordinance. Why are the farmers of our country poor? They are poor because they are the price takers, not the price makers. The farmers purchase their products, purchase their inputs at the retail prices and sell their output at the wholesale prices, which ultimately makes them the price takers, not the price makers. Since 1947, the farmers have been exploited by the middlemen. And to remove this exploitation, Mandi system came into existence.
2 minutes over.
Mandi system came into existence. Now, there are only 7,000 mandis in our country. In state of Meghalaya, there is one mandi per 11,000 square kilometer. Only 40% of the total produce is being sold in the mandi. The second one, the Essential Commodities Ordinance 2020, also known as the Freedom of Food Stocking by the Agricultural Business Ordinance. Now, let's take an example of the essential commodities, onions. Onions, when produced by the farmers, are produced in bulk. They cannot store them and they cannot sell it to different states. Now, as the new law has been passed, they can sell their onions in different states and they can store them so that the farmers will not be at loss. The third, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Service Ordinance 2020 as the Contract Farming Ordinance. McDonald's can directly contract with the farmers for their onions and for their tomatoes. So the farmers will have to read the contracts themselves, parallelly improving the educational system of our country. In these days, there is food surplus in our economy. The Food Corporation of India has buffer stocks in godown, 30 lakh tons of sugar, 221 lakh tons of rice, 478 lakh tons of wheat, and yet the people of our country are hungry because the food here is mismanaged. The people do not invest in the stocking system of our country. But now, as the new laws have been passed, they will invest in the stocking business. Now, my opposition friends would say that the government is getting away from its guaranteed role of providing the minimum support price. Then, for their kind information, I would say that the MSPs are still not given to all the commodities except wheat and the rice. And secondly, these MSPs and mandi systems have not been completely abolished. They are still working. It is just that the farmers have more options. Now, in the end, I would say that instead of criticizing the government, we should ourselves take responsibility and be vocal for these local farmers. And we should ourselves invest in the food processing industries like Amul did and help the farmers to push India on the path of Indian development. Thank you.
Shreya, please mention how much time she has exceeded.
Judges, please note Suhasini Ghosh of Team E has taken 1 minute extra. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Soumya Singh. I am from Navya Kanya Mahavidyalaya and I am going to present myself against the motion. दुनिया ऐसी बाबरी पाथर पूजन जाए घर की चक्की कोई ना पीसे जाको पीसा खाए. Years after years since independence, I can easily assure that the dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat is not only crushed but also backfooted by the nobility. The recent 3 announcements by respected Prime Minister for the 3 farm bills have not only killed the democracy but had pushed the Indian farmers into the fires and ashes of the new politics. They have not even think about the poor kisans who do not step out of their houses to grab tons and tons of gold, but they step out of their houses to earn do waqt ki roti for them and for us. So, by the first amendment bill, the farmers produce and the extract and the so long name to call. So, by this bill, I'm not saying they have removed the APMCs, but APMCs will get into dark after some time. Obviously, when there is no use of it, the government will shake its hands off and will say, why is there a need for maintaining these mandis? They are just consuming the money. Now, talking about the unemployment, which the removal of these APMCs mandis will cause, the licensed middlemen and the other laborers who are working there get unemployed. The revenues problem, the state government that was earning through the revenues through the APMC mandis will not get it. The next problem, they are saying that this removal of APMC's border will end the problem of licensed middlemen. So I'm saying, what kind of irony is this? When the working people in the APMC mandis are the only licensed middlemen. So how are they creating the problem? So this is not the problem of the older provisions, but it is the problem of the strict rules and strict implementation of the rules and regulations.
2 minutes over.
Talking about the second bill, essential commodities bill. Now they have removed the atta, dal, chawal, sabji from the essential commodities. How could I say that ki unke, according to them, the luxurious materials would be essential commodities? Now the poor persons, and migrant laborers will not be able to get the essential commodities at a very low rate. So talking about the third bill, which is about the empowerment and social empowerment of the farmers. This is not the social empowerment. This is just like the colonial structure where the farmers would be put into the foundations to sign a legal agreement. And how can you expect it when all the farmers are uneducated and they don't have any knowledge about the legal contracts? In this way, they will only be dominated by the firms and sectors. So, I mean, this bill is not historic in any way. Changing the names will not change the solutions. You have to implement into the new way by the new laws. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speakers. Now, the judges, would you like to ask any questions from Team E?
Soumya, you have spoken very well, but how do you presume that in the course of time these APMCs will be removed actually?
Sir,
I think yes.
Sir, when farmers will be directly selling their producers to the corporate sectors, so they will not be able to get into the APMC mandis. And after some times, when there is no use of the APMC mandis, the government will obviously say, why to maintain these mandis? Sir, I'm not saying that all of a sudden it will get disappeared. Sir, after some time it will get into the dark. Sir, according to me, I think survival of the fittest is the real thing that I want to say. कि जब इनका use ही नहीं है तो government जरूर कहेगी कि why to maintain all these services when they are consuming just only the money.
Okay.
So this is my point of view. I'm not saying.
Yes, Soumya, yes. Good point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions that, sir, you would like to put forward to Team E?
From my side, this is okay actually.
Thank you, sir. So now we have Team F with Palak Verma speaking for the motion and Mariam Saeed speaking against the motion.
Palak, start.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Palak Verma, and today's topic is Farm Bill 2020. And I'm speaking for the motion. The Lok Sabha has recently passed 3 agriculture sector bills, which has raised protests by a section of farmers and SED leader. The first bill provides the farmer the freedom to directly sell farm produce to traders rather than APMCs. The traders can sell the produce anywhere in the country, making it barrier-free. Also, the transportation and marketing costs would be reduced, as much of it would be done by traders. E-trading will be implemented for a facilitative framework. The second bill provides a farmer the privilege to come into contract with businessmen, wholesalers, firms, etc. Small farmers with land less than 5 hectares may aggregate and come into contract. And for that, FPOs have also been organized. The unpredictability of market would no longer be a concern to the farmer. Modern technology would be provided to farmers for better input. The third bill enables the farmer to remove stockholding of essential commodities and under extraordinary circumstances. In conclusion, the above bills provide the following benefits. The traders, wholesalers, firms, etc. would provide more income to the farmer as they will receive first-hand farm produce. The traders will sell the produce all over the country, making Kashmiri apples easily available in Lucknow. The farmers need not worry about transportation and marketing costs and unpredictability anymore. E-trading and modern equipments will be taught to farmers to facilitate better farming. Farmers need not stock essential commodities and may therefore grow crops as per the sponsors and cut wastage of farm produce. The contract holders may provide a constant income to the farmer even in case of crop damage and low harvest, and thus reduce farmer suicides all over the country due to poverty. In all this, the farmer would always have a choice to remain connected with APMC rather than binding to a contract. The aim of passing this
2 minutes over.
The aim of passing this bill was only to provide freedom to the farmer, to improve his financial condition, and to use modern farming techniques for better outputs, which can be provided by rich wholesalers and farmers. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Mariam Saeed. Today's topic is Farm Bill, and I'm speaking against the motion. Farmers Bill 2020 is divided into 3 parts, and I will explain dividedly what it is and its repercussions. First part, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services. This provides a dispute between the buyer and farmer. Farming services can be manipulated into asking for a certain quality or process of farming, leading to contract farming, which can be used against the farmer to legally dominate them, taking advantage of uneducated farmers. Second part, the Farming Produce Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Bill. It talks about trading farm goods outside the Mandi and APMC Yard, Agriculture Production Market Committee, supposedly giving freedom. As agriculture comes under state list, many states like Punjab and Haryana could lose a big source of revenue. Mandis are controlled by state to APMC. If taken out of the process, will provide big farmers with better choices and small
Mariam,
farmers
switch on your camera, Mariam. The camera, Mariam.
Yes, ma'am. Is it there?
Yeah. Start, please start.
Go ahead. Please start.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. APMC, if taken out of the process, will provide big farmers with better choices and small farmers will be left inconsiderably. If it frees the government of providing subsidy and move out of agriculture, farmers will now depend upon the market fluctuation, resulting they will get stuck between rising cost of cultivation and low prices due to low demand. Third part, Essential Commodities Amendment. It removes certain essential commodities from such as cereal, pulses, potato, onion, edible oil seeds, and oils. Government will
2 minutes over.
their supply and prices in cases of war, famine, calamities, or high rise. High rise being 50% for the non-perishable and 100% for the perishable ones. This will lead to price rise and hoarding and will give private companies the liberty of pricing according to their profit. Our farmers will be coerced to sell at lower prices. I reckon lower than MSP's minimum selling price. This bill, an apparent historical decision with the notion of one nation, one market, is full of loopholes and corporate agendas, not as precarious. It is good in theory, but can be a disaster in implementation, considering the state of Bihar and Maharashtra.
It leaves out our farmers stuck between rising cost and low selling price. Not only it majorly affects farmers, but also the poor and middle class. Our crestfallen farmers are not protesting for nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, speakers. Now, any questions from the judges for Team F?
Mariam, please tell me one thing. When the farmers, they can sell in the APMCs, they can sell outside the APMCs. So how the bill is against our farmers actually?
The farmers are fretting that the APMC will fade away.
This is assumption the government is time and again saying that they will not be closed actually.
Mariam, please turn on your camera.
Okay, sorry, ma'am.
Mariam, government
Sir.
time and again is saying that they will not be closed.
Yes, sir.
Now the farmers have better opportunity to sell either in the APMC or outside the APMC whenever they desire actually. So then what is the harm in it actually? They have given a wider marketing space actually. Farmers have been given wider marketing space. So what are your views actually? Because you are speaking against of the bill.
So in theory, this bill is good. I have said it. Sir, in states like Bihar and Maharashtra, APMC did fade away and the farmers were stricken by selling their crops under the MSP. So they are afraid of that happening in future.
Okay, Mariam.
Thank you,
Hello. Here is the question for Palak. Palak, is she there? We are
Yes,
giving
sir.
to the contestant who are against. Here is the question who are in favor of this bill. Okay. So,
Yes,
Palak,
sir.
how do you see the Essential Commodities Act amendment? Will it enhance hoarding? How it improves the situation? Will it not go for hoarding or all those things? How do you
Yes,
think?
sir. So the third bill enables the farmer to remove stock holding of essential commodities. In that way, only the sponsors can do. They can hold the commodities and they can stock hold that. If the farmers will be stock holding the commodities, then he will have to. Many times it happens that he has stock holded onions and tomatoes, and later on there is no use of it. But nowadays, like in this corona time, it is very useful for stock holding is very useful, but not in other circumstances where farmers just stock hold a lot of items, but it is of no use. So they need not worry about stock holding the items because that pressure will be taken away from them and will be given to their sponsors.
Okay, next team, please.
Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much, speakers. Now we have Team G with Jayanti Shukla speaking for the motion and Yamshi Seerat Ali speaking against the motion.
Good afternoon, respected chief guests, judges, principal ma'am, faculty members, and my worthy opponents. An industry that feeds you is an industry worth fighting for. India is a country where more than 70% of the population is engaged in agricultural activities, but it is also a saddening fact that a hand that feeds the nation is entangled in the fetters of starvation. I firmly believe that Farm Act 2020 would benefit the farmers of India. Since independence, the farmers have been depressed and they don't get what they actually deserve for their produce. The Farm Act 2020 would accelerate growth in agriculture sector through private sector being involved in building infrastructure and supply chain for farmers in global and international market. The introduction of the bill is based on the concept of One India, One Agricultural Market. It aims at opening the gates for farmers to the corporate world to create additional trading opportunities beyond the APMC market. The idea is to encourage cooperative investment in agricultural ecosystem to make it lucrative for farmers. According to the first law, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Farmers have the choice to sell their agricultural produce at a place of their choice beyond the APMC market yards at a better price, thus increasing the number of potential buyers. The transaction fee will not be charged in such trade areas like in APMC it was. Engage in trade through electronic trading platform would reduce various costs associated to marketing and transportation. According to Farms Empowerment Protection, Price Assurance and Farm Service Act, it will facilitate the farmers to enter into direct or commercial agreement with companies producing food products, wholesalers, retailers, exporters, etc.
2 minutes over.
This would eliminate the fear of exploitation and ensure access to the global market. According to the Essential Commodities Act 2020, it would enable the private investment in agricultural sector. This would help to procure a pool of funds to the farmers to facilitate the production of the crops. Law enables the central government to develop price infrastructure and market intelligence system for dissemination of information and would be a great tool in the hands of the farmers to know demand and supply information for getting the best price for their farm produce. This law is not unconstitutional because center can take decisions on matter of national interest. The farmers are the soul of the nation and their growth and upliftment is the foremost duty to be taken care of by the government. The passing of the bill is a step in the right direction, providing a bigger platform to the farmers to get desired price for their agricultural produce.
Time over.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, my worthy opponents, and my dear friends. I strongly oppose the Farm Act 2020 as I think that this act will increase the misery of the farmers, as Indian farmers are small and marginalized. This act gives the corporates and traders, and the farmers have weak negotiation skills to grab a fruitful deals for themselves. The farmers will be exploited and encroached by the capitalists, and on top of that, with no government intervention, will act as a death warrant for the farmers. It will also affect the public distribution system. According to the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Act, farmers and traders can contact directly, which will eliminate the middlemen. But in reality, our small farmers cannot have a direct word with the traders, with the big corporates, and so the need of middlemen will arise and they will exploit them. If initially the farmers will get good price for their produce, then the burden to pay will shift on the consumers, and this will increase the inflation rate in the economy. India has around 7,000 APMCs, and the mandi fee collected from them serves as a great source of state revenue. But with the implementation of the act, this will be hampered. And I don't think that they can coexist, because then the APMC will become reductant like BSNL, and the likes of Jio will benefit. I mentioned that the APMCs, with the shutdown of APMCs, the monopoly will be created by the capitalists, and the farmers will have no backup option with them. Even the dispute resolution system of the act gives independence to the corporates and not to farmers. And then we all are conversant of the administrative loopholes and the corruption in our country. Sadly, but the power is given for the same is in the hands of bureaucrats. Now, the MSP has served as an insurance to farmers for many, many years.
2
but
minutes
the Farmers
over.
Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Act will eventually put an end to the MSP-based procurement system. In contract farming, the farmer will be paid for the contract of the yield, but not for the other upgradations needed on the field. So he has to approach the financial institution for the credit support, and if the yield gets destroyed in any case, then no responsibility for the farmer protection is mentioned in the act. If we talk about the Essential Commodities Act, it gives the freedom to stock commodities, which will lead to exploitation as big corporates will charge exorbitant prices. The prices for the extraordinary circumstances is set so high that they are likely to be never triggered. And I firmly believe that Indian agriculture sector needed the reforms, regulations in the APMCs. The focus should be on seasonal unemployment, on tackling seasonal and disguised unemployment, and on farmers' education. Digitalizing agriculture when farmers are illiterate and unaware is of no use. The focus and the attention should be on farmers' education and overall growth of the economy. Thank you.
Fine, sir. Could you please also send the marks, sir?
Okay, let all the participants speak, then finally we will send actually.
हाँ नहीं इनके
Yes,
बाद जैसे
Shreya,
अब
go
ब्रेक हो
ahead.
गए
इसके बाद में भेज देंगे, लास्ट में भेज देंगे, बीच बीच में क्यों मांग रही हैं आप?
Thank you
हमने
so
भेज
much.
दिया आपको, बीच में मत मांगिए, बाद में भेजेंगे. One question to Jayanti.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Jayanti,
Yes, sir.
please.
Yes,
Please.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Jayanti,
Yes, sir.
come on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Jayanti, you have spoken very well actually. I am pleased with you actually. Good.
Thank
But
you,
tell me one thing actually. The basic idea, as you have said, is to promote a kind of cooperatives actually of
No,
the
sir, no.
small and marginal farmers. They can join hand together for selling of their produce.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
But
sir.
tell me, Jayanti, our past experience shows that the cooperative system has badly failed in our country. So how do you are hoping that this system will again succeed actually?
Sir, I'm not hoping or not. I'm not saying that cooperative sector in privatization of agriculture would be a benefit for the farmers.
Cooperative. I'm talking about the cooperative system. The
Yes,
farmers,
sir.
they will form a kind of cooperative so that
Jayanti,
they can
your
sell their produce. So how in the past our experience is that the cooperative system in our country has badly failed.
Yes, sir.
How you are saying that small and marginal farmers, those who are in majority, they can come together and form kind of cooperative sell their produce actually. What are your views?
Sir, I haven't mentioned about cooperatives. I'm saying that they will join
Shreya,
hands with the
I
private
think Jayanti's
sector.
network is not working.
Hello?
Yes.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, you are
बोलिए,
audible.
बोलिए.
Yes, Jayanti.
Yes, ma'am.
बोलिए.
Sir, I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about cooperatives. I'm saying that they will join hand with the private sectors and private sectors will provide them a chain to let them into the global and international market. Like they are right now constructed towards only their region or particularly their country. It will provide them a framework through which they can through the chain through which they can enter or only be a 1% part of the global and international market, like all the farmers. Because under the contract farming, they will be provided money beforehand for their crops, and if the and that is the basic necessity. If seeds are of good quality, fertilizers are of good quality, the production will be good, and when the production will be good, then it would be purchased by the at global and international level.
Okay. That's great. Good. Yasmin,
Yes.
Yamshi,
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
please come on the screen.
Yes.
Yamshi, you have said that in the process, this PDS system will vanish. You have said.
Yes.
But the government is time and again saying that MSP will continue. Then why you are apprehensive of that the PDS system will disappear? When government is
Thank you so much for the question. Sir, I have a fear, and many of the Indian farmers have this fear that the previous system will abolish because the private players will set a trap for the farmers. Initially, they will give so many big prices from the which will be offered in the APMCs. The best prices they will give. The farmers will get attracted towards them and will sell their produce to them. APMCs earn nearly 3,500 crores of revenue. So so their revenue will decrease and the maintenance cost will be decreased. So how they could maintain and how they could stand in the market. So this will eventually lead to the destruction of the APMC unviable. APMC will become unviable, and PDS system will be affected because if it is in the government hand, if it is a socialist economy, if it is a public sector handling the things, then they are definitely going to get the crops at a lower rate. But the private sector's objective is profit maximization. So how can we even think that they will think of the public benefit or the welfare? They will charge more, and the PDS system will eventually affected by the thing. So I hope you are satisfied.
Yes, I'm absolutely satisfied. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Good. बढ़िया, अच्छा था.
Any more questions that you would like to ask, sir, from Team G?
No, that's okay. Let us proceed actually.
Okay. So next we have Team H with Ishandi Pandey speaking for the motion and Anupriya Prasad speaking against the motion.
a watershed moment in the Indian agriculture history. Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Guest Sir, Honorable Principal Ma'am, Honorable Judges, Honorable Teachers, and my fellow participants. Today I, Ishami Pandey, am here to share my views on the topic Farm Bill 2020, a step in the right direction. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, said that this is a watershed moment in the history of Indian agriculture, and I couldn't agree more. So I'm speaking for the motion. Now I'd like to shed some light on the advantages of the three ordinances. Number one is that it promotes what we call one nation, one market policy, which means that the farmers can sell their produce anywhere in the country. Earlier, they were restricted to sell their produce only at the APMC, but now they can sell their produce anywhere across the country. But the government hasn't done away with the APMC, which means if the farmer is willing, then he can sell his produce at the APMC and avail the MSP support. Secondly, the government has also set up a dispute resolution mechanism, which is operated by the sub-divisional magistrate, which means that if there's a dispute between the buyer or the private companies and the farmer, then that dispute can be resolved. Now, another advantage is that it will also promote the private companies to set up online trading platforms so that it can help the farmers and to get acquainted with the technology, and they can also help farmers with the supply of primary inputs. Now, it also promotes contract farming, which means that the relationship between the private company and the farmers, it can be storified into a contract. So it will also help the farmers.
2 minutes over.
So it will also help the farmers to credit a loan from the bank on the basis of that contractual agreement. We see that this bill, these three ordinances are going to help the farmers in many ways. And I would like to conclude on the point that this is not only going to be beneficial for the private companies, for the farmers, but also for the consumers, because the products that we buy will change less hands, and hence it will also be affordable and be present at a reasonable price for us, and with the hope that it will bring a better future for the farmer. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, respected Chief Guest, Principal Ma'am, Judges, Teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Anupriya Prasad, going to present myself on the topic Farm Bills, a step in the right direction against the motion. Farm Bills is a combination of three agricultural bills passed by Indian Parliament in September 2020. On 27th September, it received an approval from our President and became an act. According to our Prime Minister, it will empower careers of farmers. But the economy has two aspects. According to me and some opposition parties and a huge number of farmers, it is not a right step. It will definitely earn. First bill, that is Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill 2020, which permits the farmer to sell the produce in any or location at one market, but it will create difficulty for the farmer to travel, carry and until the buy. This trader can be any person, processor, retailer, wholesaler, dealer, which will again hit the farmer because earlier they were middlemen who had license under the APMC Act and are ready to take produce at fixed rate. Farmers on and Farm Services Bill 20, which is a farming agreement between farmer and buyer before the production on rearing of any farm produce. But if there will be any crop failure due to drought, natural calamity, or if there will be heavy production due to good irrigation facilities or more, the farmer will be at loss only because of this agreement. Then
2 minutes over.
proposes to deregulate the production, movement, storage, and sale of several foodstuffs like cereals, spices, edibles, onions, except in the extraordinary circumstances, and the stock rate will be imposed on agriculture produce only when there will be steep price rise. This stock limit relaxation will lead to black marketing rather than benefiting the producer and producer organization and invest in marketing infrastructure. And second is NABARD to get this act together and work implementing the agencies with the private.
Time out.
Thank you so much, speakers. Now, judges, any questions that you would like to put forward to Team H?
I think there's no need to put up any question. Ishanvi and Priya both, they have spoken very well. I congratulate both of them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Both are very good.
Thank you, sir. Now we have Team I with Kashish Rana speaking for the motion and Shivangi Pandey speaking against the motion.
If we are able to eat today, so thank a farmer. A very blissful good afternoon to respected chief guest, principal ma'am, esteemed jury, teachers, and my fellow-ups. Today, I, Kashish Rana, student of Isabella Thoburn College, would like to share my views in the favor of the motion that Farm Bill 2020, a step in the right direction. The Farm Bill is a primary agriculture tool and a food policy tool of the federal government. The bills were announced by our Honorable President, Mr. Ramnath Kovind, aim to change the way the agriculture produce is worked, country were sold and stored across the country were initially issued in the form of ordinances in June. They were both passed by a voice note in the both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in the delayed monsoon season of 24 September 2020, and even the legislation is passed in the Government Gazette on 27 September 2020, which come into the force immediately. The farm bills were the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020, allows the farmers to sell their harvest outside the notified agriculture produce market committee mandis without paying any state taxes or fees to promote barrier-free interstate and intrastate trade of farmers. Second, the Farmers Empowerment Protection Agreement of the Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020. This bill facilitates contract farming and direct marketing. Farmers can directly market by eliminating the intermediaries for the full price realization. The third, the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. This focuses to bring the investment for the farm infrastructure like cold storage and modernizing the food supply chain. This is a big structural change attempted by the Modi government. The idea is to encourage the corporate investment in the agriculture ecosystem to make it lucrative for the farmers, as farmer is the only man in our economy who buys everything in retail, sells everything at wholesale, and pays the freight both ways. At last, I would like to conclude with my words that if we are thinking only with a political interest, then sorry, it doesn't make a sense, because to understood this reform, we have to consider that over 60% of the population are engaged in agriculture sector, and this contributes to the 18% to our country's GDP, which we all think is a very huge number. So we have to think about those by whom we can treat us every day. These laws claim to be farmers closer to the market by changing the store produce and whether they can enter the contracts. I strongly believe that this step is in right direction, as farming is a profession of hope, and we all rely on this hope. Thank you so much.
In this corona crisis, we have seen the India's GDP going minus 23.9%. The only sector showing the positive result was the agriculture sector. But it is very disheartening to say that the condition of the farmer in India is still terrible. Suicide rates among the farmers are increasing. Farmers are always getting exploited, whether it is in the form of new farm bills or whether it is in the form of new policies by the government. Respected chief guest, respected principal ma'am, my teachers and esteemed judges, I Shivangi Pandey, I will like to give few points that why these Farm Bills 2020 is against the welfare of farmers. As first of all, passing these bills is not at all democratic. Agriculture is a state subject, but states were not consulted before passing these bills. The main people, that is the farmer, for whom the bills are made, they were also not given the opportunity to raise their concern. The first bill, that is the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill 2020. It allows the farmers to sell their produce outside the mandis directly to traders, and it will be tax free. But in long run, APMCs will become inefficient. The government will lose its control over APMCs, and the market will be in the hands of big businessmen. And what will happen? The chances are very much high of getting not only farmers but also of consumers exploited. According to this bill, the farmers' income will increase, but this is not a guarantee. As we have seen in Bihar, in 2006, when the government abolished APMCs, the farmers got very low price, and it was less than the minimum support price of their produce. So, what is need to be done is to strengthen APMCs, to remove the faults which are there in APMCs. The middlemen will become jobless. If the farmer will go to a new state, he has to find a new trade area. That will also be a challenging for him. The second bill, that is the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement, Price Assurance and Farm Services 2020.
Yes, continue.
It facilitates contract farming. By contract farming, the farmers will be at loss. As if the prices in the market will be high, then he will then the prices at which he is selling to the contractor, he will be at a loss. And what will happen if the contractor will say that the quality of the crop is not what was agreed? So in this, the farmer will be a weaker party. He will not be able to negotiate with the best prices when he will come across the big and educated contractors. The second is the Essential Commodity Act 2020. Essential Commodity Amendment Act 2020. Removing the restrictions from the storage of food grains, it may lead to import at a cheaper price, and as a result, the domestic farmers will be at loss. The big businessmen, they will store the food grains and increase the price. At last, I would like to conclude with that the only motive of government with this MSP is
yes, Kashish.
You can conclude, Shivangi. Huh?
The only motive of the government with these MSPs is that they with these bills is that they want to get rid of the MSPs. They want to give the benefit to the cooperatives, and firstly the cooperatives, they will get the good prices of their produce, but after some time they will also start exploiting the farmers. As we have seen a very small example of Jio company. When it came, it offered the very free internets and cheap recharges to people, but after when it flourished, it increased its rate, and as a result Airtel and Vodafone, they get lowered.
Thank you so much, speakers. Judges, please note, Shivangi has exceeded the time limit by 38 seconds. That is 3 minutes and 38 seconds she has to do. Now, any questions that you would like to ask Team I?
मुझे लगता है कि कशिश और शिवानी दोनों बहुत अच्छा, they have spoken very well.
Thank you, sir.
बहुत अच्छा था, very good. I am very pleased with both of you.
Thank you so much, sir. It means a lot.
Shivangi.
Yes, sir.
I want to know, there is a provision in the contract farming bill for dispute settlement. Okay, have you gone through that?
Yes, I know.
Certainly, there is a strong provision for dispute settlement. There is a contract farming. Some SDM has been deputed to settle and they need not to run here and there in the courts. Okay, so simple dispute settlement mechanism has been given. Okay, and Ashish, one question is there. Ashish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ashish, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Please let me know if some provision is of the act or agreement is flouted by the farmer, what are the provision in the act? Have you gone through that? If farmer flouts the provision, we are always talking of the cheating the farmer by cheating the farmer, the producer, the contractor. If farmer flouts any provision, what of the act or agreement, what are the penal clauses for him? So you people go for that in detail. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both the aspects we have to see. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much, speakers. Now we have Team C in the last with Arsha Tripathi speaking for the motion and Nancy Tripathi speaking against the motion. Judges, please note this is Team C. Thank you.
The farmer has to be an am I audible?
Yes, please speak.
The farmer has to be an optimist or he wouldn't still be a farmer. Good afternoon, respected chief guests, judges, principal ma'am, and all my fellow members. I am happy and honored to be part of this debate. Here I am, Arsha Tripathi, going to speak for the motion of the bill. Last week, President of India gave his assent to the farm bill, namely the Farmer Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation. Opposition and farmers organization continue to protest against these laws while politics take its own course. Now, it is useful to examine the economic rationale of both the arguments being given to justify these bills. The arguments, broadly speaking, are twofold. The bills give greater freedom to farmers to sell their produce. They will abolish intermediaries or at least some levels of intermediaries between farmers and buyers. This will ensure that the farmers get a bigger share of their profit and consumer and will therefore improve agricultural incomes. Now, I would like to elaborate and define the provisions which are being implemented. The first provision, the new legislation will empower farmers for engaging with processors, aggregators, large retailers, and all the members on the level of playing field. Price assurance to the farmers even before sowing of the crop. In case of higher market price, farmers will be entitled to this price over and above the minimum price. It will transfer the risk of market unpredictability from the farmers to the sponsor. Due to prior price determination, farmers will be shielded from the rise and fall in the market price. It will also enable the farmer to access modern technology, better seeds, and other inputs. Fourth, it will reduce the cost of marketing and improve the income of the farmers. An effective dispute resolution mechanism has been provided with clear timelines for the redressal.
2 minutes over.
Innovative inputs to research and new technology in the agricultural sector. The farmers will have full power in the contract to fix the sale of the price of his choice for the produce. They will receive a payment within a maximum of 3 days. In case of any dispute, there will be no need to go to the court repeatedly. There will be a local dispute redressal mechanism. These 3 ordinances aim to increase the availability of buyers for farmers' produce by allowing them to trade freely without any burden of a license or stock limit, so that an increase in competition among them results in better prices for the farmers itself. While the ordinance aims to liberalize trade and increase the number of buyers, deregulation alone may not be sufficient to attract more buyers. Thank you.
In all debates, may I speak?
Next, please.
May I speak?
Yes, please.
In all debates, let truth be thy aim, not victory or an unjust interest. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present over here. Welcome to this debate. The motion for today's debate is Farm Bills 2020, a step in right direction, and I, Nancy Tripathi, strongly oppose the motion. There is a lot of chaos going in the country due to this bill. Government says it will change the lives of farmers, but still farmers are...
Nancy, please correct your audio video. You are not visible. वीडियो ठीक करिए अपना।
So now I am visible.
Sorry, you are not visible, Nancy. You are only audible.
No, ma'am, we can see her.
Ma'am, everyone see me.
I am not able to see. Even Fahim sir is not able to see.
She is visible. You're wearing specs, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she's visible,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
click on my name now, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can just pin her name, so she'll be visible.
Yes, now she is visible.
Ma'am, I have to start over.
Yeah, you've lost time, so you can start again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. In all debates, let truth be thy aim, not victory or an unjust control. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present over here. Welcome to this debate. Today's debate topic is Farm Bills 2020, a step in right direction, and I, Nancy Tripathi, strongly oppose the motion. There is a lot of chaos going in the country due to this bill. Government says that this bill will change the lives of farmers, but still farmers are protesting. The truth lies between the best and the worst case scenario, and only sensible one can reach there. So now here we go with the Farm Bills 2020, approved by our President, Mr. Ram Nath Kovind, on September 24, 2020. The first one is the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services. The name suggests that it will give protection and empowerment to farmers, but we should not be fooled by the government, and it's the opposite. This bill, while offering protection to farmers against price exploitation, does not prescribe the mechanism for price fixation, and the free hand given to private corporate could also lead to farmers exploitation, and also the dispute redressal in this bill is also not practical. The second bill is the Essential Commodities Bill 2020. This bill removes certain commodities from the essential commodities list. In this bill, we can clearly see the loophole is that it will infringe the power of states, as they cannot be able to regulate the menace of hoarding and black marketing, which leads to inflation and monopoly of some individuals, and also create irrational volatility. And the recent decision on export ban of onion creates a doubt on its implementation. And the third is the Farming Produce Trade and Commerce Bill. This bill will give farmers freedom to sell their produce anywhere, to center its one nation and one market cause. But so they ask why protest? And what about the small farmers? And this bill doesn't mention anything about MSP or procurement. And farmers, when farmers are asking the dismantling of monopoly of APMC would ending the MSP, the ministers are not present in the meetings also. And at the last, the 58% of India population is dependent on agriculture, but the governments are trying to cut their knots from farmers. And at last, I would like to say a few lines in the name of farmers. Before my life ends, listen to me a little. Otherwise, this India of mine will starve to death. Listen to me, won't you? I have walked this long journey. Listen to me, won't you? I have walked this long journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speakers. Now, judges, would you like to put up any questions to Team C? So, would you like to ask any questions?
फहीम सर,
हाँ, ये
कुछ पूछना है आपको?
नहीं, अब अच्छा हो गया, बहुत अच्छा था, गुड एक्चुअली। बहुत ही बढ़िया। अब
चलिए, आप जब तक मार्क्स दे दीजिए, हम आगे कार्यक्रम थोड़ा सा बढ़ा दें, बस 5 मिनट और आपका।
हाँ, मैं अभी आपको मार्क्स भेज रहा हूँ।
जी जी जी, थैंक यू। श्रेया, कैन वी कंटिन्यू विद द प्रोग्राम?
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call upon our judges for your comments on the event.
Firstly, you can call additional director, sir, till the time Fahim sir prepares the results.
Thank you, ma'am. I am deputy director because login is in the name. I am sitting here in my data center and login is in the name of additional director. Additional director is much higher post and he is lieutenant of director. You're
Okay.
okay.
That's why, because login में additional दिख रहा था.
Yeah,
Sorry.
data centers normally we don't change. We are having webinar with government of India and so many things. So, ma'am, it has been a great opportunity for me. I am very happy to see these students and they were discussing pros and cons of these bills. And we are also engaged in disseminating the soul of these bills to the farmer. We are putting our staff in some of this your contestant opposing the bill were of the view that how the farmers will be going in the contract because of the rate of literacy. So this is one of the great problems. So we are all there to hold their hand, and we have drafted some model contract. Every contract may not be same. Okay, because there are different type of crops, different type of seasons, different type of production, different type of rates are there. Still, we are trying to educate the farmers. We are drafting some model contract so that we can educate them how to get into the contract with the processor or some company or other. So it is very Herculean task to educate the farmers. We are, because I am an extension worker, I am looking after here extension programs. We are running here a program Kisan Pathshala, the Million Farmers School. So we run this program in a campaign mode, and in one campaign we train 1 million farmers. So during this COVID, we contacted the farmers with the NIC network. So this has been a very pleasing moment for me to hear these students. I wish them all the best, and these urban students, who most of them might have not seen the fields, we used to run here to there on the burn. So it has been. I would like to request you, when the things settle down and the situations are far better to move out. So I would like to request you please come with your students to our farms. We are right here at near Sandila, near this Malihabad. We have our farms. I welcome them, so they have the pulse of the village, pulse of the farmer. Okay, thank you very much. I am very happy to see this.
Thank you, sir, so much. And definitely thank you for giving us this opportunity and proposing this invitation. And as soon as the things normalize, it will be great to visit the villages and farms ourselves and conduct some kind of micro study where we can contribute with the government. And that was our sole purpose of, giving this kind of creating this kind of networking, because academic institutes, if they are working in isolation with the government departments, it will not be proving to be successful. And if you make a policy and you don't incorporate the younger ideas, then also it is not making sense. So I think ये जो हमारा इस तरह से जो कनेक्शन या नेटवर्क आ रहा है, ये आगे चल के दोनों को ही फायदा करेगा, हमारे को हमारी एकेडमिक उसमें और आपको आपकी प्रणाली बनाने में। हम लोग इसकी रिपोर्ट भी बनाएंगे और आपको प्रस्तुत करेंगे, ताकि आप उसको कहीं भी इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहें तो जो यंगर इनोवेटिव आइडियाज इन्होंने बच्चों ने दिए हैं, वो जरूर आपके मेरे ख्याल से काम आ सकते हैं। और
बिल्कुल भी I shall be jotting down those points and discussing at higher level with the government if
जी।
some corrections, and actually when things are executed then practical problems are felt and mid-season correction can be made.
डेफिनेटली, थैंक यू सर। फहीम सर, आप कुछ बोलिए। आई थिंक फहीम सर अभी रिजल्ट बना रहे हैं। टिल द टाइम आई थिंक वी कैन just open this platform for everyone to share their views and feedback to us, that how do you because I know there are some outside participants also in this platform, so if you want to share your feedback with us, or if you plan to give any suggestion, because we have this forum, Isabella Thuban College Economic Forum, which strives to enhance the knowledge base of all our students besides their textbooks and syllabus in these ways. We have also our online newsletter, Arthaniti, which I will be sending to your teacher. I think your teacher must be having that. So all of you are welcome to contribute your articles also there, and contribute in this manner. So I open this platform for your feedbacks. If you want to say anything, please introduce yourself, open your mic, and you can say. Nobody wants to give any feedback.
मैं बच्चों को कुछ मैसेज देना चाहूंगा, because it is a great forum and they are future of our country.
Yes.
आप कभी किसान के बारे में सोचें, ठीक है? आप जब घर में बैठ करके खाना खाते हैं तो आप अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछें आटा क्या हिसाब लाते हैं? 34 रुपए लाते हैं। उसको गेहूं का दाम कितना मिलता है? 19 रुपए
जी।
तो ये जो डिफरेंस है वो कहाँ जा रहा है, किसकी जेब में जा रहा है? वी आर द अल्टीमेट कंज्यूमर्स। आप एक दलिया खाते हैं, पॉरेज, वो 40 रुपए का 1 किलो मिलता है। तो द प्रोसेसिंग उसका कोई बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है। प्रोसेसिंग में उसमें क्या लग रहा है? कुछ नहीं लग रहा है। आप बेसन लेते हैं 120 रुपए किलो, चना मिलता है 70 रुपए किलो। तो ये द ग्रेट डिफरेंस वेयर इट इज गोइंग, क्या किसान की जेब में जा रहा है? सिंपल सी बात है। तो इस बात को सोचें। और आज की तारीख में कोई भी किसान अपने बच्चे को किसान नहीं बनाना चाहता। जितने आप लोग चाहे आईटी में पढ़ रहे हो, चाहे नवयुग में पढ़ रहे हैं, कोई पेरेंट कहे कि ये पढ़ने के बाद किसान बनेंगे, कौन बनना चाहता है बताएं? नहीं, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट अ प्रॉफिटेबल वेंचर।
यस,
तो प्रॉफिटेबल बनाना है, कैसे बनाना है? और ये बहुत अच्छी बात है, a number of software engineers are coming back and doing this organic farming, protected farming, and they are making a lot of money. So I would like to request, I would like to motivate these children कि आइए पढ़िए करिए, और agriculture is very profitable business. You can make a lot of money. अगर जो अभी आप बात करें किसान बन, तो हम कहेंगे हमारा किसान पढ़ा लिखा है। दिस इज मैसेज फ्रॉम माय साइड।
Yes, thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Soumya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sir, my name is Soumya Singh. I'm from नवयुग कन्या महाविद्यालय। सर, आपने अभी पूछा था कि आपने कभी अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछा है कि बाहर कितना दाम चल रहा है मार्केट में? तो सर हमने पूछा था, हमने अभी 2 दिन पहले ही पूछा था, क्योंकि हमारे घर प्याज आया तो वो बहुत महंगा था। इट इज अबाउट 70 रुपीज अ केजी दैट डे। सो मैंने पूछा कि डैडी आप 2 हफ्ते पहले आप प्याज लेकर के आए थे तो कितने का लेके आए थे? तो ही सेड कि आई बॉट इट फॉर 35 रुपीज अ केजी, 35 or 30 rupees a kg, and after 2 weeks after the passing of the farm bills, सर अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, क्योंकि ये एसेंशियल कमोडिटी शायद से बंद हो गई हैं, इनको हटा दिया गया एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज से, तो सर विद इन 2 वीक्स इनकी होर्डिंग चालू हो चुकी है, इनका इलीगल स्टॉक बनना चालू हो चुका है, एंड सर 2 हफ्ते बाद ही ये प्याज 70 रुपए किलो है। और सर मैं आपको ये भी बताना चाहती हूँ कि सर थोड़े दिनों पहले सर मैंने 2 आंवले के मुरब्बे जो कि पतंजलि के होते हैं, आई हैव सीन दोज बॉक्सेस, और सर 2019 की पैकिंग है जनवरी की, एंड इट इज अबाउट 140 रुपीज एट दैट टाइम, और सर 2020 की पैकिंग है, इट इज अबाउट 165 रुपीज। So sir, there is a lot of difference between these two prices. Sir, about 25 rupees. Sir, how can you think that this farm bill will be beneficial for the farmer? Sir, देखिए 6 महीने के अंदर उसका प्राइस जो है 25 रुपए बढ़ गया है, जबकि हमारे यहाँ किसानों की आय $1 से भी कम है। So सर हम पूछते रहते हैं रेगुलर कि इसका कितना दाम है, कितना नहीं है, सो और हर बार हमें शायद से निराशा ही ज्यादा मिलती है, क्योंकि हमारे को कभी देखने को नहीं मिलता है कि उनको प्रॉफिट मिला है इस चीज से। यस सर, ओनली दिस।
इसीलिए मेरा क्वेश्चन था किसी कंटेस्टेंट से, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर द नेम, कि हाउ डू यू सी द एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज एक्ट अमेंडमेंट? Perhaps one question was from my side. Previously, I was of the opinion always there is a scope for improvement. Okay.
That's true. That's true. And
sir, I would also like.
Okay, please continue.
Sir, I would also like to ask like something, that if like the story, like if the the removing restrictions from these essential commodities will and it will like storage then the like it will not store these food grains, it will promote imports which are cheaper, and it will affect the domestic farmer, and the bill is engineered in such a way that the government cannot regulate the prices and just crumble, and thus benefiting the private players who will become price makers and lead to inflation for the consumers. So, sir, again, it will raise the prices only for the consumers, and the farmers will again not get any benefit from that. The private players will get the benefit.
Yes, I think it's debatable still. It's in nascent stage. It is facing lot of opposition from the opposition parties also. And the agenda sometimes, the drawback of our country is that every agenda becomes politicized. And as far as your point of view is concerned, it is really right that whenever we make any bill, it takes a lot of approvals from Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and has to go through the political process, which has gone through in this also. But I think there needs to be more transparent mechanism. There needs to be more talking around, getting everyone views into it, and then passing a bill. I think that should be the procedure in any kind of bills being passed in our country, which maybe we have done this kind of debate, but how many younger students have got this opportunity to talk about it beforehand? That is one of the issues which we need to address, that once the bill is made, we cannot do anything. We can just give our opinion, we can oppose it, we can put our aggression into some form or the other, which all these people in Punjab and Maharashtra, they are showing. But the thing is, we have also to see the positive aspect also, and try to put it in a proper manner. Like if the objective of this bill has been a positive step, if we want to work in the interest of the farmer, if we want to put maximum margin money into the pockets of the farmer and benefit the agriculture, there is no doubt that agriculture is the backbone of our Indian economy, and we have to strengthen it. And for so many years, we were just doing our industrialization and a development of the industries, but we neglected agriculture. So we need to see that, and that is why it is a positive step. But then all these steps need to be well thought, well implemented, and whether really it is going to be benefiting the beneficiary. So that sir just said that literate farmers. So literacy is, I think, the basic thing. If you are literate, automatically you will be able to understand the rules, the laws better, and you can take the benefit of that. So this is a good discussion going on. If anyone else wants to say something, otherwise, Fahim sir, if you have given the result, we can just listen to you for 5 minutes.
Excuse me, ma'am. I would like to say something.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I'm Suhasini Ghosh from Navyu Kanya Mahavidyalaya.
Yes.
मैम जैसे कि पीपीवी के तहत गांव तक प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस के जो बीबीए डिग्री जिन बच्चों को मिलती है, और वहां पे गांव के बच्चे जो है वो जाते हैं अपनी बीबीए डिग्री के लिए, तो ऐसे बच्चों को रिसोर्स बनाकर हिंदी में बिजनेस नॉलेज देकर उन्हें एग्रीकल्चर को एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए मोटिवेट हम कर सकते हैं. सेकेंडली, आईसीएआर जो आईसीएआर एक बीटेक डिग्री प्रोवाइड करती है कि बीटेक एग्जाम्स के बारे में शहरों को बच्चों को पता ही नहीं है आईसीएआर के बारे में. और आज जब हमें डब्ल्यूटीओ रेजीम में है तो हमारे जो एक्चुअल ओरिजिनल फार्मर्स हैं उनको पता ही नहीं है कि हम डब्ल्यूटीओ में एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट्स की बात कर रहे हैं. तो इन चीजों को भी, इन इंफॉर्मेशन को भी हमें उन जो बेसिक जो फार्मर्स हमारे पास सारे प्रोड्यूस बना के ला रहे हैं उन तक पहुंचाने के लिए भी, मतलब उनके बच्चे जब वहां पढ़ने जा रहे हैं, उनके फैमिली से जब पढ़ाई करने आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, तो हमें वहां तक उस इन्फॉर्मेशन को प्रोवाइड करनी चाहिए. और अगर वो इंग्लिश में नहीं समझ पा रहे तो उनको हिंदी में उस चीज को समझाना चाहिए, क्योंकि एमबीए बीबीए ये सब डिग्रीज यूजुअली इंग्लिश में ही मिलती हैं जहां तक. तो उस चीज को हमें हिंदी में समझाना चाहिए अगर वो इंग्लिश में नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं. That's a suggestion.
No, it's a very good suggestion, and I agree totally with you. And I think everyone who has joined the platform will agree to this. And that's the basic need-based approach which we should follow. As you said, कि हमें कुछ ऐसे मॉड्यूल्स बनाने, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलप करनी है. और अभी तो एक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में एक बहुत ही नया सा कंसेप्ट आया है सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का, where we are not talking about the economic benefits all the time. We are talking about those people who are working, who are leaving their pay packets to work in the villages and rural development. And I know, like personally, some people who have done their MBAs from IIMs and all, and now they are coming back to the villages and doing good work for them. So we need those kinds of entrepreneurs. We need those kinds of young minds like you, who can give the suggestion on the one hand and then be in that position to implement it also. So for that, I would definitely like that these kinds of young girls who have presented their views should be coming into, administrative and legislative and legal kind of positions to change the system. क्योंकि जब तक हमारे हाथ में पावर नहीं होती, हम किसी चीज को चेंज नहीं कर सकते. तो पावर का होना भी जरूरी है और साथ में आइडियाज को इम्प्लीमेंट करने का जज्बा भी होना जरूरी है. And I think you all are a good combination of that. So we definitely see a bright future in you all, the young debaters here. And I will just want that let that spark not die. Let that spark be continued. And खाली बोलिए मत, खाली रिजल्ट के लिए बोलना is not important. किसी भी बिना ऑब्जेक्टिव के बोलना इज इम्पोर्टेंट, जिसमें कि आप ये नहीं सोचिए कि आप फर्स्ट आ रहे हैं कि सेकंड आ रहे हैं, बल्कि आपकी जो विचारधारा है वो हो सकता है कि किसी को कहीं कुछ फायदा दे जाए, तो आपको उस दृष्टि से बोलना होगा. एंड आई थिंक इसमें एजुकेशनल सिस्टम का भी बहुत बड़ा रोल है. हमें कहीं ना कहीं अपने सिलेबस को, अपने जो हमारी शिक्षा व्यवस्था है उसको भी बदलना होगा. जैसे कि अभी तुमने बोला ICAR का जो कोर्स है, तो आप कितने लोगों को इसके बारे में पता है? अब गवर्नमेंट सीबीसी यूनिवर्सिटी सिस्टम में हम सीबीसीएस को लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हम वहाँ पे इंटीग्रेटेड मैकेनिज्म को बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जो इकोनॉमिक्स का बच्चा है वो केमिस्ट्री पढ़े और केमिस्ट्री का बच्चा इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़े। लेकिन ऐसा बहुत ही रेयरली, क्योंकि उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, तो टीचर्स फाइंड अ इजियर रूट टू टीच इकोनॉमिक्स टू द इकोनॉमिक स्टूडेंट्स एंड केमिस्ट्री विल फाइंड। सो दैट काइंड ऑफ वी नीड द इनोवेटर्स, we need the new technology. Every combination of the things will only set us back. And UP mein entrepreneurship is one agenda which is very important, and I think government is putting a lot of effort on Atmanirbhar Bharat and self entrepreneurship, motivating the entrepreneurs. Lot of I can see a lot of home chefs have emerged in this lockdown period. So that means there are combinations of these people who have studied something and now they have